Okay, my loves, we are back at it. We are finally headed to Louis Vuitton to check out the makeup. I have no idea if they're gonna have everything in stock, if it's gonna be out of stock. Everything is out of stock online, but two of the stores out here, the Wynn and Caesars, have the makeup in store. So I tried to do my hair, makeup, and everything the exact same, but I did use my high-end products. Other than my lip is the exact same. Oh, and the blush, only the powder blush. I did use my Charlotte Tilbury. So if you have any questions on the hair, makeup, outfit, details, all that, go check out my last makeup tutorial. I do a makeup tutorial and a full get ready with me with this cute outfit. I am loving this vibe for the fall. I'm really excited, girl. I'm just kind of, you know how it is after you get ready and you just kind of need a break. I'm just kind of catching my breath, making sure I have my route down in my head. I cannot wait to test the eyeshadows, the lipsticks, even the lip balm. I wanted the blotting powder, but they were sold out online. Let's get on our way, girl. You guys, I've been loving Mariah's album. It is just, I love her songs.
My album is paying the bills. I don't even need a deluxe.
Told me I cannot film in there, you guys, so I already knew that was gonna be possible, so I got as many clips as I could for you guys. He was following me around the store, which pissed me off, so I was just like, whatever. So let's go home, see what I got. Oh my gosh, you guys, how pretty is the waterfall? You guys, it is such a vibe out here. I love this time of year in Vegas. It's so pretty. Okay, my loves, I am back home and we have our goodies in hand. At first, when I saw the products online, I wouldn't say I wasn't blown away or disappointed. I was kind of like, okay, I'm waiting to see what they have to offer. I thought all of the swatches were beautiful online, the lipsticks. They have matte lipsticks, satin lipsticks, and lip balms, as well as eyeshadow palettes. They also had an array of Louis Vuitton accessories. like their cute little cosmetic pouches. They had a ton of new, well, no, not a ton, but they had new ones. They had different sizes. They had lipstick carriers. You guys also saw the blotting papers that come in an actual Louis Vuitton case. What is so amazing about this collection is that it is done by none other than the one and only Miss Pat McGrath herself. She is now Dame Pat McGrath, girl. She has a royal title that has been given to her in 2021 by the Queen herself for her exceptional contributions to fashion and beauty and makeup in the UK. That is how iconic Dame Pat McGrath is, you guys. And let me just say, I have said this a long time ago. I've always said this from the beginning. If it were not for Dame Pat McGrath, there would be no Time the Infamous. And honestly, without me, I don't know if the beauty influencer industry would be where it is today. So, not only is she completely a genius, mastermind makeup artist in the high fashion world, her legacy has trickled down the pipeline to amazing makeup artists like me, okay? So, in 2007, the way that I started in makeup was, first I was into fashion and I would go to Barnes and Nobles back when you had to go get the magazines and look through the magazines to look at the fashion of that season, to look at the makeup, to look at the hair, and to look at the trends. There was no internet yet. So when I was going through these fashion magazines, you know, I studied fashion before I studied anything. One day in Vogue Italia, and I still have the magazine, it is in storage. I wasn't able to go to storage to get it, but I still have the exact image that I recreated, and that look was from Dame Pat McGrath. So let me help you guys understand her power and her influence. Every high fashion show that you have ever seen from the early 2000s to now, she is the one who created the makeup on the models. Okay, let me say that again. Dame Pat McGrath is the woman, and the Black woman, who is putting these looks together. From the Jean Paul Gaultier to the one that I recreated, Givenchy. It was bright blue eyeshadow and a bold red lip with completely light matte finish powder on the face. And that's back when you're going through the fashion magazines, you have to crack open the book and read in the spine of the magazine who was the hairstylist, who did set design, seamstress, who was the assistant, head makeup artist, Pat McGrath. You guys, back then, I didn't know Pat McGrath was Black. I didn't know until social media came along, and that's when I saw Pat McGrath. And I was like, whoa, this is a moment. That is another reason why she was crowned Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, is for pioneering impact on fashion and beauty and for championing inclusive representation. Dame Pat McGrath is the reason you see the amount of Black models on the runway as you do. She is in charge of, to an extent, getting the models. Of course, each fashion house hires the models for the fashion shows, but she's behind the scenes saying, hey, we need some more mid-tone or deep tone models, okay? So she has really pioneered that. With that said, it is huge that she was crowned the position by Louis Vuitton of the creative director. She is the one who put all of these lipsticks, lip balms, eyeshadow colors. She handpicked them, put them together herself. On the website, she is in charge of things like this. What images are we going to see? You see that? You see the eye makeup? You guys know what makeup I'm known for. You see that? That in large part came from Pat McGrath. The bold looks and colorful makeup that I'm known for. Those looks that I did in the very beginning of my career in my bedroom, that Versace inspired blue, green, all of that was inspired by Pat McGrath. I know I was inspired by the Versace colors of the fashion, but on that runway, she created that lower lash line with the lashes coming down at the bottom, sitting underneath. The Von Garde makeup, the high fashion makeup, the out of this world makeup, the makeup that you thought you would never see on someone in real life. So that is why I thought it was okay to wear the makeup that I wore and that I loved, and to create those crazy looks and to go out into public back in the early 2000s when people weren't even doing lip liner. They were afraid of blush. They sure in the heck were afraid of color on the eyes. So I just have to give Pat McGrath her flowers. Hats off to her. I also want to vocalize this so much because if you follow me and you've seen my journey, it's important that I educate people as well on the mother of makeup. She's the mother of makeup. There's no one that I ever saw who was on my level with makeup other than Pat McGrath. I feel like no one can outdo me in makeup. No one can outdo me in my creative style, etc. Now, with that being said, I'm not trying to be in the same breath as Dame Pat McGrath, but all I'm saying is there is only one person in makeup that Time the Infamous looks up to, and that is Dame Pat McGrath. So, with that being said, let me also say this was the first collection she did with the major fashion house, Dolce & Gabbana. I knew I had to purchase this. This was a bronzer they did. It's very hard to see now, and I don't know why this sticks out, but this was a big, beautiful coin, and you can see the gold. There was gold airbrush on it here. This was the first makeup collaboration that Pat McGrath did in 2011. Then finally, she debuted her own makeup line, Pat McGrath Labs. The reason it was Pat McGrath Labs, she is a true makeup artist from behind the scenes. You know, she's doing mixing mediums and latex and all of these things you can't even imagine to create these looks. And she's very, very mixed on the back of her hands, very hands-on. She'll do makeup with her finger. She did a lot of the makeup with her hands. This was her first label. It was just blank. You can see, oh my God, that just fell out. You guys, this is so old. Like, I love Pat McGrath. I have supported her from the beginning. But yes, that's why I kept this packaging and I stapled it back up after I got the products out, because this was a huge moment for makeup artists who knew who Pat McGrath was. Of course, she moved into her palettes, which, by the way, for example, this detail here, this is etched into there, okay? The details are crazy. Like the fact that this is gold plated plaques here, and here is her classic first palette from 2014. And then that's when she got into she finally got the real branding here on her products and got into complexion. This is the concealer. With that being said, here we are now. The first Louis Vuitton makeup collection ever created, and the most expensive makeup in the world, done by the one and only Dame Pat McGrath. Let's go ahead and get into it, girl. Okay, so I don't know which one I'm pulling out first. Here is the first little package. Ooh, so this is how it's packaged. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So you slide it out here. So she wanted to make sure there was a sleeve. I take it, and there is Louis Vuitton embossing on here. Ooh, okay. First, this is the lip balm. I wipe my lips completely off. I just have a little light lip liner. Now back to this beauty. It's super pretty. Oh my gosh. Now it's really cool because this has a magnetic closure, and girl, ooh, oh, this is like, it's like automatic glide up and down. Oh my gosh, it is so smooth. So these retail for $160, and this is supposed to be skincare for your lips with a hint of color, or it can go up to an opaque wash of color. Ooh, that feels really good. It's definitely on the thicker side for a lip balm. Now, I would say that I would expect a little bit more of a gloss in there. I know my favorite Dior lip balms kind of are a little more glossy. So this one is more on the matte side. It feels really good going on. There's not a hint of mint, maybe a little bit of taste of a little bit of lipstick. I wonder what these are made out of, but I also thought this would give me a little more color. However, they have over 10 colors to choose from, which vary in color, and they definitely have ones that are dark brown, red, orange, pink, clear. So you can definitely get more color payoff. Now, the other cool thing about these is that you just pull these out. These are refillable. And then you have that beautiful monogram there on the bottom. It says Louis Vuitton. It's etched in there. All of this on this case is etching. It's not a sticker, it's not font, it's actual etching. So that's really pretty. Now, oh, well, one thing, you guys, people were trying to buy the refillables online, but you guys, these do not roll up. They do not work without this going into there at the bottom and clicking in to release the product and unlock it. So, you know, they made it so that you can't get away with only getting a refillable. And they also changed that on the website. It now says case needed. So I'm sure a lot of people were like, what's going on here? Why can't I use it? Now, something else that's really cool is that the refillables are only $69. So they intended you to only buy the base one time, and then you just get the refillables and interchange them. So there's the first one. Okay, moving on. Next, we have I guess this came undone. LV Rouge Satin Lipstick. And guess what color I got, you guys? And this is what the lipsticks look like. They are the same exact component, just in black. Okay, so there's that. Ooh, this is in the color Kiss the Sky. Now, she also made the lipsticks to be able to go right over the lip balm, but I like a bare lip starting with my lipsticks. But just letting you know, if you're that type of effortless girl and you just kind of want a wash of color from your deep lipstick, you can just kind of blot that over the balm. So I'm just gonna do that natural liner again. I knew at this price point, I wanted to get something that I absolutely loved and that I would reach for. I have so many high-end lipsticks that just sit in my makeup archive. So I definitely want it every day. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Ooh. Ooh, wow. So pretty. These are right up my alley. It's funny because it's not as intense as my Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW. It almost wants to act as a medium to sheer lipstick. They definitely are buildable. So you see how I built it up. That is super pretty. Oh my God. You guys, do you see that from afar? Do you see the depth in there? Yet it is still a nude. Look at that. Whoa. The color theory on this lipstick color is insane. You guys, you can see the further back I get, it looks a little deeper. This is literally my perfect nude, and it's definitely more mature. Like, it has that bit of depth in there. It's not the like concealer lipstick, the concealer nude. It is a pink and a beige at the same time. Whoa. I don't know if you know how hard it is, being my complexion, finding this perfect color, because it literally does not exist. Whether it's MAC, the first ones that come to mind is like Teddy, Blankety, Creme Cup is definitely lighter. There's just never been this exact color. Wow, that's impressive. This, look how flattering this is. And what's beautiful about it, look at that shine. I don't even have to put a lip gloss. Oh my God, this color is beautiful. Wow. Okay, next. That is all that I got, you guys, because I wanted to get this palette, this beautiful palette that's on my eyes. Did not touch my eyes at all since I've left or been home. I wanted to see how it wore. You can kind of see, they are not makeup artists up there, but they said that they have been trained. So, you know, there's definitely a lot of work that I see that can be done, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to try it on your eyes to see if it fits. They're not doing, you know, a full makeup application. Also too, let me say this. From the videos I've seen on TikTok and whatnot, it doesn't do it justice, okay? For one, can you guys see the sparkles on my eyes? You guys, the sparkles in the palettes were so Pat McGrath coated, and when I swatched them, that is what I said immediately, and they were like, that's what we've been hearing. For one, look at, now you guys know I already had a full face of makeup on, but you can see the tones though. So the two palettes that were out of stock were the two lightest ones. And they said that those sold out fast and first because they're very wearable. So I didn't want to get something that I would struggle reaching for and going right into. So she told me she would let me know as soon as they get that back in stock, because this is beautiful. And let me say as well, the formulas were very interesting. They were on the drier side in a good way, and they just flooded the eye with natural color, adhered to the eye in such a light wash of color without feeling cheap or like, oh, there's no pigment, or oh, you have to build it up. With every sweep that she was doing, it was just getting more beautiful. Like, and then she has the dark brown. Oh my gosh, that's another thing too, you guys. The dark browns in the palettes are very, very, very deep. Now, I completely understand for deeper skin tones. I think maybe that's where she was going with it. But like in the lighter one, I didn't know why the brown was so deep if deeper skin tones aren't going to use those lighter colors, for example. So the only qualm I would have about this collection is that I just wish Pat did some that were just a little more everyday and wearable and had that crease color you could go right into. Other than that, absolutely beautiful. This lip is so pretty. The shadows are so pretty. Like I told you, it was disheartening how the security guard followed me around the store, even though, you know, I was buying something. That really messed up the experience, and you know, I can see if after he told me, hey, you know, there's no filming in the store, if I still have my camera out, or if I was like trying to sneak around, or it seemed like, you know, I was going to use it. As soon as he said it, I put it immediately in my purse and never reached for anything in my purse again. However, I was still followed around the store, and that really upset me. And I would definitely say that would make me never go in there again to buy any of the beauty products. I would only, you know, shop through the website. So also too, they did say 2 more eyeshadow palettes are coming out, and they also, at the cute little vanity, they had a Louis Vuitton hand sanitizer, duo phase eye makeup remover, and a few other things, and they said that that'll be for sale in the future. I did hear some horror stories about not being able to touch or swatch the products. So going into it, I was just worried, like, I hope this is a good experience. So going into it, I didn't touch anything. Luckily, at the location here in Vegas, they were way nicer, and they actually encouraged it when I was just standing like this looking, you know, really close. Because, you know, another thing too, I'm a professional. I have an eye. I honestly don't need to swatch it. And it being, you know, Louis Vuitton, you know, it's not a place, the way I carry myself in the high-end places is not a place where I'm digging in and putting the colors all over my hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm more there observing, looking at what I like, asking questions, commenting on how beautiful they are or what I like, so that my SA can begin pulling some product for me. So that's kind of how I went into it anyway. So she offered, and she offered 3 options. You can do a virtual try on, which was beautiful. The colors were perfect. You can swatch them with your fingers and try them on the back of your hands. All we ask is that you use hand sanitizer first, or we can also have our artist put the product directly on your eyes for you. And you can also, they had these little mini testers, which were like a ½ inch tall, that had every single lipstick for each individual person. So it's like a one-time use thing, and that's how you can try on the lipsticks. So I think that Pat McGrath thought everything through and through. She said that this line was 5 years in the making, and I will just leave off on my thoughts of if I think these are worth it or not. It's not even a question of are they worth it. When they are priced this high, you either know that you want it or you don't. Do I feel like, oh, these are cheap and these are stock and these like were made in China and you're just buying the name? No. I think that for it to be Louis Vuitton and the glide on this, the heaviness, they said these components are made out of brass. The fact that this is etched in there, you guys, like there's no stickers. Like the only thing I would say is that if you're torn between the balm and the lipstick, this is definitely feels like, oh, okay, this is more worth it. This is a little bit like, I definitely thought it was gonna moisturize a little more, be a little more glossy, maybe a little more pink, but like I said, they have deeper colors. So I don't feel like I regret it or anything, but I am wowed by the lipstick, however. So those are my thoughts on the Louis Vuitton makeup, you guys. I will keep you updated because I'm hoping that eyeshadow palette comes back into stock because girl, I am there. I love these colors. Let's see, girl, that is it for me tonight. Oh, you guys saw I had a big dinner and I got Earth Cafe so that we can indulge and eat cake and look at the makeup. But after that Cheesecake Factory, girl, that was it for me. So I'm gonna have to save this. This is their berries and cream chantilly cake. I did want to say the swatches online are very different than what they are in person. That goes for the eyeshadows, and the eyeshadows are very deceiving just when I'm there in person looking at them, and then I swatch it and it's like, whoa, that color looks, I don't know what she did to them. But so I would say if you can, try it all on before you commit, because I do not know what their return or exchange policy is. So that was very important. Like this lipstick also too, let me say, this is the lightest color that they have. The matte is way darker. So just want to let you guys know that too.